Welcome to NCIX Tech Tips. Today's episode is about the Patriot Gauntlet and Gauntlet Node, which are basically the same thing. They have the same functionality. They expand the storage wirelessly of your iOS or Android mobile device. The main difference between them is that the Gauntlet comes with a hard drive inside, that's the one we have here, and the Gauntlet Node comes with no hard drive inside, so you can put in your own hard drive or SSD, and they say the firmware supports up to a 2 terabyte storage device, which, as you guys know, compared to the 64 gigs max that you can get in one of these guys, well, that's a lot of storage. Now let's start with a physical look at the Gauntlet itself. It's only about the size of a typical 2.5-inch drive, but it does have a lithium-ion battery in there, as well as the wireless chipset that it needs, wireless N, mind you, and last but not least, USB 3. So without actually adding that much extra bulk to the device, they've got a lot of functionality in here. So around the edges is just kind of your standard sort of glossy thing. On the top and the bottom, it is matte, so you don't have to worry about not being able to touch the thing at all without putting fingerprints all over it. On this side, you can see there's a battery level button, so you just press that, and it'll give you a little indication using 4 LEDs of how full the battery is. The battery should last for about 5.5 hours of continuous streaming. On the back of the device, you've got USB 3 power and DC in. Now, something to bear in mind is you don't want to use wireless and USB 3 at the same time. So it can charge over USB 3, but if you want to use it wirelessly, it also comes not only with a USB 3 cable, but also with a power cable that you can plug into a USB port as well. So that way you don't have to worry about causing any kind of problems with it. Updating the firmware on the Gauntlet is a snap. All you have to do is put the applicable firmware file into the correct folder on the Gauntlet, and it will update itself on its next boot. Now, we installed the apps on both Slick's Galaxy S3 and my iPhone 4. All you have to do is go into your wireless settings and connect to the Gauntlet node. What's cool about that is once you're connected to the Gauntlet node, you can configure it to connect to your wireless router. So you can still use the internet passing through the Gauntlet node even when you're streaming media off of the device itself. So once you're connected, you launch the Gauntlet app, which is available for free in the App Store as well as the Google Play Store. So I'm going to go ahead and say, oh, I'm on Slick's phone. I have no idea where his Google Play Store is or his Gauntlet app or anything like that. Now, the apps are quite different, but the overall functionality is pretty much the same. So we'll be back in a moment. Now, the UIs look pretty different, but all the functionality is pretty much the same in the iOS and the Android apps. So you can go into settings, change your Wi-Fi, check your status, change your slideshow time. You can use it for photos and videos, and you can use up to, oh, see, there's our settings interface for that one. You can use up to 5 devices at a time streaming 720p content at the same time, which is great if you have a whole family in the car and everyone wants to watch a different video and people don't get around to, actually loading the videos on their phones. Great way to keep everyone happy in the meantime. So check this out. You can see your local files or you can see your Wi-Fi drive. Loads up all the files and all you got to do is find a compatible video format. Unfortunately, these network storage devices are not yet able to transcode the video on the fly or anything like that. So make sure whatever video files you load are a compatible format. So I can go ahead and play my MP4 video in the video player. This is a video Slick took of sort of a weird setup we had going on at my house. And then I can go on to the iOS app and I can play my MOV file, which I didn't record. Here's my baby and his Jolly Jumper, which I didn't record in portrait mode because I actually know how to use my phone. And you can see I'm playing back both of these 720p video files at the same time, off the same node, with no issues whatsoever. Now, I've had people tell me they don't find these devices that useful because they find it's kind of a pain to bother with loading their latest media on it all the time. My response to that is create a workflow for yourself. Carry it around in your backpack, carry it around wherever. It's pretty small. It's not that heavy. It's no big deal to do that. When you go home, plug it into a computer, plug it into your desktop, your notebook, whatever else. Set up a synchronization relationship using something like SyncToy and have it go, okay, your downloads folder, your latest downloads, or however you organize your video files, have it set up to automatically sync to the node. It's an awful lot of storage, so as long as you're not trying to put every video file ever onto the 320 gigs or 500 gigs or even, you can get bigger mobile drives than that. Put it all in there. Make it a synchronization thing so you know that every time you pick up your Gauntlet, it's going to have your latest media files on it. It'll have deleted anything that's not relevant anymore as long as you've got that one-to-one relationship in the folders, and take it with you wherever you go. Thank you for checking out this episode of NCIX Tech Tips, and don't forget to subscribe.